Jonty and Rich. Our phone number is 877-937-1047. You can call us and jump on there with us right now. You can also text us. Text JJR, whatever's on your mind, to 96893. We started a new podcast that drops on Sunday mornings at 10 o'clock in the morning. And it's called the Couples Therapy Podcast. It started out with Rich and his wife, and Kyle and her husband, Payton and her boyfriend, my wife, Blake, and I, Nick and his wife, Grant and his wife, and then Noah did it. Noah in the back. Baby Noah did it with his friend Lenora. And here's a couple text messages on it. John G. and Rich, how many minutes into the show will you get before someone addresses the fact that Noah's podcast is longer than all the other podcasts combined?
Yeah, it's a marathon. It is the Lord of the Rings of the Couples Therapy Podcasts.
John J. and Rich started Couples Therapy Podcast now from yesterday. Have not listened to any of it yet, but I see this almost 2 hours long. I feel like Noah and Lenora have been prepping for this day for a long time to be on their own podcast, as most of them are 20 to 30 minutes. Well, first of all, Noah, congratulations. It's the most downloaded podcast we have. This couples podcast. Yeah.
Check that guy out.
Yeah. Way to go, Noah. It's like the day downloads blows all ours away.
That's awesome.
Congratulations, Noah Lashley.
That's how you do it, brother.
So you need to do it again this Sunday. Part 2. Rotate your friends. Lenora. Did you have a friend named Taylor?
Yeah.
Taylor Swift. Noah and Taylor Swift.
Really should have your mom on there. She's amazing.
Yeah. Anyway, but this Sunday, Payton, it's you and Kadeem?
Yeah.
All right, good. That's where we do it, man. It's a couples podcast. Just something fun for Sundays. I saw on Payton's Instagram, speaking of Kadeem, you guys celebrated your 5-year anniversary of boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah, that was insane. So Saturday, we ended up doing a little staycation at Talking Stick Resort. And it was such a vibe. I've been in there a handful of times, but I've really just gone to their main pool. I've never really explored the resort in general. So Saturday we had a casita, and y'all, it wasn't just one of those regular casitas in a little hut. It was next level. It was a little mini apartment in there, and we had our own separate pool in front of the main pool. Yeah, because I guess they have this
You had your own pool? Nobody else was in the pool?
Literally, our own pool in front of
Because nobody else was there, or it's just your pool?
Because where the casitas are, it's you have an area that's air conditioned and a couch and a TV with all your snacks, but then right when you walk out, there's a 3-foot pool that's yours separately, and then in front of that 3-foot pool is the pool that everyone can go.
I would live there. Can you live there?
It was actually epic. I was this is insane, and I'm kind of a weirdo when it comes to public pools. I was like, I love this. I love that it's just the two of us. And so then we ended up going back to the room. Our room was just absolutely beautiful. It was stunning. It was a king side bed. I was like, ooh, we live in bougie over here. I was like, we struggle sleeping in our queen size bed, but we ended up taking a nap. We went to dinner at this restaurant it's spelled Tosh, but it's pronounced Thosh or Thosh.
Ask Rich.
Which one is Rich?
Thoche.
But it was next level, and we got the chef's special, so it was this plethora of meats everywhere. And
plethora of meats sounds like everything I'm looking for.
Yes,
that should be a name of a restaurant.
Should be.
It was so good. And we ended up going back to the room.
Did he propose?
Surprise!
What?
No longer a girlfriend.
What?
Officially a fiance.
Oh
my God, yay! I know. This is huge. I needed to break the news to you guys.
Oh my God.
Wow. Look at that ring.
Do it again. Show everybody.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I ugly cried so hard.
Oh my God.
Cried so hard. And then about 20 minutes later, I was like, are you sure?
How did I miss? Did you have that on when I saw you in the hall?
No. I walked in
that thing is humongous.
Yeah. He did good. He did a really good job. So I'm super happy.
What? Because I saw you and you had this cat that ate the canary look on your face. I'm like, what's going on with you? I noticed it right away, and you're like, nothing. Everything's the same. And I walked by and I'm like, boy, that was weird.
Congratulations. That's so great. So did he just drop on one knee and do it? How did he do it?
Okay, I feel like I kind of blacked out, but now that I think back, I'm pretty sure we just walked into the room, and I had no idea. I knew it might be coming soon, but I didn't know he was going to do it on Saturday. So I walked back into the room. I'm taking off my shoes, and he had said something. I was looking in the mirror, and he was look at the table. And I was like, what? And I look, and I see a box on the table, and I was like, what the heck is going on? And then he just told me how much he can't see his life without me, and how much he loves me, and how fun our life has been, and that he can't do it without me anymore. And
that's amazing.
He got me and asked
So
me
did
to
he
marry
say?
him, and
He
I
said,
cried.
"Will you marry me?" He goes, will
He
you
got
marry
down on one knee and said, "Will you marry me?"
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Dude,
so-
congratulations.
Thanks, guys.
That's amazing.
Thanks. Yeah.
You are now a fiance.
I know, it's actually kind of really weird. Really weird. Because it's like, we've been talking about it for so long, you know what I mean? And like, my mom was like, "Have you started wedding planning?" I'm like, I feel like I've been wedding planning since I met him.
And I see, like, your nails were all done. Were they done for the weekend?
Yeah, they were just done for the
Like,
weekend.
were you do it just because, or did you have an idea?
No, I had no idea. I just did them
Because they look
I
great now.
needed my-
We post pictures. It's like this beautiful hand model with a perfect diamond ring.
Hey, what kind of cut is this ring? I can't tell.
Couldn't tell you. I have no idea. All I know is that it's a cluster ring, so it's a bunch of smaller diamonds, not just like one big stone.
Well, from where I'm sitting, it looks humongous.
It looks gigantical.
Wow.
Thanks,
Oh
guys.
my gosh, and you're like glowing.
Thanks.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks,
Peyton Whitmore
guys.
is engaged. Wow.
Whoa.
I was
So
was
huge.
not expecting that
I
today.
was not
I was
either.
like joking. Did you get proposed to? And I thought you were going to
I
go,
know. I was
no.
like, did John do
what a-
no?
I was like,
She's like,
what a
bam.
great opportunity. The way you described this whole weekend.
Right.
And that he should take advantage of that.
And he
Bam.
did.
And he
Oh,
did.
yeah, he did. And then we
wow.
got treated to like the most amazing spa day on
Wow.
Sunday and had like an hour massage. And it was just like, it was seriously such an amazing weekend.
Wow.
Well, now you got to
Way
go
to
back
go.
there every time to celebrate.
know.
Congratulations, Peyton. Congratulations, Kadeem. Congratulations, Talking Stick, for making that happen, making Peyton's dreams. Peyton's dreams came true at Talking Stick Resort. Unbelievable. Kyle, what's coming up? 3 things you need to know.
You probably saw this online all over the place. Former President Joe Biden has been diagnosed with an aggressive form of prostate cancer that's already spread to his bones. So apparently it all started with the doctors finding a small nodule during a checkup, and then things escalated quickly. Biden and his family are working closely with his medical team to figure out the best path forward. But obviously some pretty scary news they're facing. Now it is down to the final four in the NBA. In the East, it will be the Knicks taking on the Pacers, and in the West, Timberwolves are up against the Thunder. The crazy thing is none of these teams have seen a championship in ages or ever, so the hunger is real. Game 1 tips off tomorrow night. Let the games begin. Should be a very interesting championship run. Turns out your stress, you guys, isn't just your problem. It may be stressing your partner out too. Scientists say stress can actually be contagious in close relationships, affecting your health and your partner's health in some ways. The takeaway is, listen, if you're feeling overwhelmed, just talk it out, breathe it out, support each other, because your cortisol isn't just yours. It's affecting the people around you as well. And that's 3 things you need to know.
Peyton, what do you have coming up for predictions today?
I'm going to tell you the sign that you should be surrounding yourself with right now.
Good morning, Megan. What's your sign?
Cancer.
Okay, so Cancers. The sign that you need to be surrounding yourself with right now is a Virgo. They're going to be your emotional support spreadsheet right now. So when you're spiraling, they're going to have a Google Doc and a weighted blanket ready for you. And honestly, they give soulmate behavior when it comes to Cancers.
Thanks, guys. That's great. Rachel, good morning. What's your sign?
Yeah, iHeartRadio Capricorn from Silver City, New Mexico.
Right on.
Okay, Capricorns, you guys need to be surrounding yourselves with Scorpios. You need to let one of them into your inner circle. They're going to help you plot, plan, and maybe even get a little petty, but only when it's deserved. Together, you guys are giving Mafia power couple.
Oh, yeah. I imagine that.
All right, Rachel. Have a great
Thanks,
day. Thank you. Hello, Dion.
Good morning, Leo.
Okay, Leos, we need to find an Aquarius and not let them go. They're a little weird, but they're mysterious and they're not phased by our main character energy, which makes us want to impress them even more. So it's giving enemies to lovers.
Okay, I gotta find me an Aquarius. Don't know any.
I know, my Aquarius just put a ring on it. I was like, heck yeah.
Hey now.
Congratulations
Thanks,
on
Dion.
that.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
That's so
awesome.
sweet.
Thanks, Dion. Harper, good morning. What's your sign?
Hi, I'm a Scorpio.
Okay, Scorpios, you guys need to be surrounding yourself with a Capricorn. They're low-key, your twin flame and boss energy, and you're either going to start a business with them or a scandal or both, but at least it'll be efficient.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
How about Libras?
Okay, Kyle. Libras, you guys need a Sagittarius in your life. They're wild and spontaneous, and they'll get you to stop rereading all those old texts and just go live your life. And honestly, it might result in a spontaneous road trip. So if you are going to go get you a Sagittarius Libra, be ready for that.
Okay, that sounds fun. I don't know if I know many Sagittarius.
When are you born if you're a Sag?
December. Like Taylor Swift is Sagittarius, also my sister.
Okay, well, I'll just
Yes.
call up Taylor, or your sister would
Exactly.
probably be easier
Perfect.
access.
How about Pisces?
Pisces, Rich. You need a Leo in your life. They're going to gas you up. They're going to make sure that your selfies slap, and they're going to defend your sensitive little soul like a ride or die. They're dramatic, but they're worth it.
That's you.
That's me.
You're the Leo.
I am.
And you do that.
I do.
How about Virgos?
John JJR Virgo in the room. You need a Cancer on speed dial. They're going to cry with you and validate your anxiety and make you feel like you're not a control freak, even though you are.
Didn't you also say Cancers need Virgos? Wow.
Yeah, you
Look
need
at
each
it. Match made in heaven.
Speaking of, by the way, if we didn't get to your sign there, I'll post it on our website, johnjandrich.com. And speaking of Rich, who's a Pisces, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but there's a huge radio show. It's on at a terrible time.
Well said.
And Rich fills in for the host. It's called Coast to Coast. And it's one of those shows that talks about, like, right, it's like anything that's bizarre and crazy.
You know,
right?
UFOs, Bigfoot, conspiracy theories. Like there's we have one up that I did last week that is about that missing Malaysian flight 370. And this guy who has done all this research and feels like they used some kind of cloaking device to make it look like it disappeared from radar.
But what about the new one?
The new one
that you just talked about. That hasn't been dropped yet, right? But I mean,
yeah.
you did it live. You did it live.
I did it live. So the whole show is live. They like it to be live, so they like live interaction, but it's on like our time, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. So it's opposite of our schedule. So I'm wired on caffeine by the time I get to this. And sometimes the guests kind of freak me out. Like the guest we had on this past Friday was talking about all these secret underground tunnels in cities that they've built for the money elite. And then people start calling in that know about the tunnels. And I start kind of Googling during the show because I'm like, well, that can't be real. So he starts talking about what he calls the mole people that live in these tunnels underneath Las Vegas. And I looked it up and he said, it looks like there is an entrance, like a gate that looks like something out of Jurassic Park, more like you're keeping people in. And I guess there are thousands of people living in the tunnels underground in Las Vegas. And that's not just, you know, like some conspiracy theory. That's actually happening.
Are there pictures and stuff anywhere?
Yeah, there are pictures.
Because let me tell you this, just to back you up a little bit on this. I met a guy last year. It was so weird. I met this. I was in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, over 4th of July, and I was at a 4th of July party, and I met this guy. And I don't want to say too much about the guy, who he is, or the conversation we had. But our paths have crossed again recently somewhere. And I was talking to somebody over the weekend, and he had a house. He told me that he sold his house in Paradise Valley for $40 million.
Oh,
Jeez Louise.
And I go, what in God's name? And apparently it had a shooting range underneath and tunnels. They called them cartel tunnels.
what?
Is what? And I was like,
All the way there? Like, that's pretty far from...
no, he lives here.
Yeah.
I met
but
him there.
Where did the
Okay.
tunnels go?
Yeah.
I don't know. But then Rich brought up this coast to coast thing with these people that live in tunnels. And I'm like, he called them cartel tunnels, which makes me think of the tunnels in Nogales. But I think in Paradise Valley, they're probably really nice, tile.
Sure.
Right.
I mean,
Mosaics and whatnot.
That's what I said. I thought that, you know, when you say underground bunker, it sounds like it's like, you know, like
Right.
like what you would think concrete and yellow lights. And he's like, they're like 1,300 feet underground, and they're super opulent for the money elite types.
Okay, what is opulent? Is that not a drug?
Super
God you said
fancy.
that.
Don't get addicted to opulence.
But here's what freaks me about all these guys. They talk about all the underground tunnels, and I'll bring out something like, I'm like, well, do you think some of them have alien technology? It's like, alien technology? Why would that be a thing? So you ask them like the next obvious question, and then they all back down. So they bring you to the weird, but then when you go just a little bit extra weird, they shut it down.
Is the story that the quote unquote mole people live there by choice, or are they
Yeah.
being held there?
I don't know, but they say that entrance looks like they're trying to keep something in, but they come up to the surface to forage for food.
But they're normal looking people?
They're normal looking people.
Okay, because I think the mole people they're all above ground in Paradise Valley, where this guy's tunnel must connect to.
Those are people with lots of moles.
Who spends $40 million on a house? That's
Insane.
I mean,
and how is that not front page here?
If it's got tunnels, there's got to be something. It's got to be going somewhere. And they say that there's like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of miles worth of them, like under the DI airport, all the way through the Rocky Mountains, all the way through Cheyenne Mountain, where we broadcast in Colorado Springs. So anyway, I'm
What if the
freaked
tunnels?
out.
You buy this house here, and it's got these cartel tunnels, and when you follow it, it pops up like you're in the front of a Safeway. Like, you know, that was really convenient. You
I
just
would
go
love
out
that.
there.
I would love
great.
that.
Like, and how come you never see someone coming out of the tunnel or whatever? You know what I mean?
Right.
I know, yeah. Where is the
Like-
tunnel entrance /
I know.
exits?
Yeah, I don't know. It seems fishy. Anyway.
Fishy, but look up the pictures of the Vegas tunnels. They're there.
Yeah.
Stacks and hacks. I have stacks of information, and Rich has life hacks. Apparently, almost 90% of working adults say they check their email at least once a day, even on vacation. 1 in 5 say they check it 20 times a day. I think I'm one of those 20-time-a-dayers.
Yeah, because all the new stuff shows up, and that's no bueno. You know, you got to sift through all the junk.
TikTok is adding a new feature to encourage kids to stop scrolling and go to bed. After 10 p.m., they will see a prompt in their For You feed offering guided meditation to help them unwind and go to sleep. A few weeks ago, someone set up what's called a cliff bed in China. I don't know if you've seen these on social media. It's like for thrill seekers. It's the chance to sleep on a bed that's perched 330 feet off the ground. Costs $13, and you have to wear a safety harness. I don't think I could do that. You're on the cliff sleeping on a bed.
Why would you want to do that? That sounds terrible.
10 inmates escaped from a jail in New Orleans on Friday, and they taunted the prison guards on their way out. On the wall above the hole they slipped through, they wrote, "Too easy, LOL," but they misspelled two. They put TOO.
I saw that they captured like 3 of the guys that got away.
Couple in England shared a photo of some potato chips that were spread across the bed of a hotel room in their hotel. The husband asked the staff to put 30 bags of chips on the bed to surprise his wife. They thought they wanted them spread out like rose petals. So all the chips were
He wanted the actual bags.
Dairy Queen catered a Texas wedding for free after the bride made a impassioned appeal on TikTok to Dairy Queen because the guy she was marrying, his last name is Blizzard. Bradley Blizzard.
I just was like, this literally makes so much sense.
So, Dairy Queen, help a girl out.
We immediately looked at it and thought, we got to do something. I've heard it for 30 years now that I should somehow get involved with Dairy Queen. My future in-laws came into town last night and they were like, hey, let's go to Brahms. And I said, no. You don't understand. We're Dairy Queen spokespeople now. Like, we're going to Dairy Queen.
Tom Cruise says he's going to make movies into his hundreds. That's awesome.
Let's go.
Final Destination Bloodlines won the box office $51 million, which is the franchise best. I remember going to the first Final Destination, and I was like, no more for me, thank you. Too scary. Did you hear about Katy Perry? No longer wanted in Las Vegas because her residency, Resorts World, they lost money. They lost money on Katy Perry.
I saw like a video of the electronics. Like she was like flying on a dragon, but it like didn't look like Katy Perry level. Like I felt like it looked like maybe she like put it together the night before.
I know producer Nick and his wife went to the show. They said it was awesome.
Yeah, but they're Katy Perry freaks.
Okay.
What's something that happens often in movies that is 100% unrealistic? There's a list trending online. And as I go over this, it is pretty funny. Stopping to have breakfast at a friend's apartment before work.
Yeah,
Or like,
that's true.
Or like making an entire spread of food for breakfast and taking one pancake.
No one ever looks for parking. It's just there. This is what happens in a movie. They say ordering a meal, eating one bite, and then leaving because you got to go somewhere after you take a bite.
What about nobody ever saying goodbye on the phone? Okay, goodbye. Never. They just end it. Just end it.
Things that happen in movies, but never in real life. When hackers go, they type 300 words per minute, and then 5 seconds later, I'm in. Unemployed bachelors with spacious penthouse apartments in desirable locations. This one I never thought of. This is a general lack of tiredness. Right?
That's true.
People getting pistol whipped, being knocked unconscious, and waking up later, acting normal as if nothing happened. Spotless air ducts. Air ducts that can support the weight of a 200-pound man moving through them that aren't full of screws and absorb the sound of the man moving around. And this is the number one thing that happens in movies, but it's totally unrealistic. When somebody falls and catches the edge of something hanging on by just their fingers. Like, try it. Like, you can try to hold on and you can't.
No way.
What do you got for life hacks, Rich?
All right, well, the end of the school season is rapidly approaching. I know my kid Audrey comes back from New York today, actually, and the rest of my kids are done with school this week. So if you got something to study for, or even in life, we've heard that writing things down is a good thing, but there's even a trick above that. Did you know that if you write anything down, anything that you want to remember, it's like reading it 7 times. So that's a good thing right there. That's science. And if you have a journal or something like that, if you really want it to stick, they say writing it in blue makes your brain remember it better. So get yourself a blue pen. John Jay's a blue pen guy.
Always.
Always have been.
Always a blue pen.
If somebody handed you a black pen, I've seen you hand it back and go, no thanks, I'd rather not write it down at all. So you Forrest Gumped your way into remembering stuff.
I know.
Once again. So write it down in blue, and you remember it 7 times more than if you read it. That life hack can be found at johnjanrich.com.
Listen to this. Something happened in my house yesterday, and I was not told I can't talk about it. And I made sure that I didn't ask if I could talk about it because I kind of wanted to talk about it.
Smart. That's really smart.
Like a couple other things happened this weekend. It was a busy, crazy weekend in my house that I knew I was told I can't talk about. But this is what I feel I haven't been told. This is what I'm going to tell you. So, I have my crazy morning routines that I have, right? I added something new to the routine where, because my back hurt, or the doctor told me, you know that little blue arch thing I have down there that arches my back?
Yeah.
I have one in my bathroom too. So I lay on the floor, on the tile floor, and I arch my back on this thing for like 2 minutes. Then I take like a baseball and I put it on the back of my hip and I roll around on that, right? So I'm on the floor, tile floor in my bathroom, rolling around with this baseball on my back of my hip.
That sounds terrible. It literally sounds terrible.
It hurts. But so just so you get, it's a wet floor. It's a cold tile floor. And I'm on my back like this. And I got 6 dogs. We got this one dog that is almost human. His name's Pablo. We got him from Kyle's father-in-law. And he's a beautiful dog, an amazing dog, but he's like a human being, this dog. It's so crazy how real he is. So, and he gets into everything. He's like a toddler. He gets stuff that I don't understand how he got up there and gets things. He just gets things. So I'm laying on the floor. And Blake said she got up in the morning and she's like, I heard a bunch of girls downstairs. Because, we went to bed 8:30 or 9. I know. Dutch, my youngest son, has got girls at the house quite often when we go to bed. and he'll have a bunch of guys out to play basketball, but when you hear girls giggling, that's kind of, I didn't hear it. Anyway, she comes up. I'm laying on the floor. And she goes, look what I found in Pablo's mouth. And she throws, and it lands next to my ear, a used condom.
Ew!
Stop it! Stop
Plop
it.
next to my ear on the cold tile.
That's actually so gross.
And cold sprinkles of DNA on my cheek. And I'm like, why are you throwing that at me? Like, why are you throwing that at me right now?
Very good question.
Like, I don't understand. Like, now I look at her, that's how she handles, like, nervousness. She had anxiety.
She's in shock.
And I was like, she goes, you need to talk to him. Like, wait a minute. It looks like he's using protection. Like, isn't that what the talk is for? Like, you have the talk ahead of time. Hey, man, I go, this is good, right? This is good. This is disgusting. Why? And I'm like, heck, maybe the dog got it out of the trash. And I go, I don't know why he doesn't flush it. And then she's like, throw it away to me. I'm like, first of all, don't throw that at me.
So gross.
Right?
Yeah.
So gross.
That would take me out right there. I'd be like,
And then the conversations that I can't talk about, like the stuff that's sprinkled on my cheek, I'm like, I never thought I'd have to have this conversation. Anyway, I grab it and I flush it. You're not supposed to flush it. It's going to clog the toilet. I go, you're going to flush it. I'm going to flush it. So I flush it. And then she says, when he wakes up, ask him who was here so we can find out what girls were here. Like, she wants to know who they are. And anyway, he woke up and he didn't say. He goes, I had a couple ladies over. I go, yeah, we know. And then we told him.
Did you tell him? Yeah, like, what's his reaction when he just realizes my parents just found that?
He gives me knuckles.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, he goes, what's up, Dad?
You need to
he goes, right. So then
he totally knows how to handle you.
A couple hours go by, right? And then my wife comes downstairs. Oh, my God. And she throws to me the wrapper. Now the wrapper showed up. The dog had the wrapper in his mouth.
Boy, that dog's really a good hunter.
Like, Dutch has got to be more careful, bro. Like that's going to happen at his age. Like, that's inevitable.
Right.
But, like, you got to be smart about it, dude.
I know, like, why didn't you throw it away?
Put it in a baggie, keep it under your bed.
Anything.
He probably did throw it away. But
no,
the
I mean,
trash can's
flush
on
it.
the ground.
I'd flush it so you don't have whatever.
Say, get rid of the evidence.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, we got to be smarter, bro.
So cut to later. We're having dinner at Pita Jungle, which I haven't been to in a while. They got a whole new menu. It's fabulous.
Yeah, they're great.
So we're sitting there at Pita Jungle, the 5 of us, the whole family. It was Kemp, Jake, Blake, me, Dutch. And we're sitting eating, and I look at Dutch, I go, so, Dutch, you had sex last night, huh?
Oh, my God.
And he just goes, "What up?" Just gives me the dab again, dab me up like that. Like, anyway, it was just so uncomfortable.
What were you hoping to accomplish with
I was trying to make him feel uncomfortable. I don't know what the goal was. I don't know what she wanted me to do. But I can see as a mom frustrated. And then, of course, over and over and over again, my wife would say, "Thank God we don't have girls." Like, that would be so awful. I mean, whether there's a double standard or not, to know that was your daughter doing that. I was like, and I want to know who is that girl. I feel bad for her father or their father. I don't know how many girls were. I don't know what's going on last night.
I don't think you ever want to think about your kids doing that.
No.
It happens.
That's bad. Yeah, I know, but we don't know about our parents or the children.
Don't you want them, though, to practice safe sex, though, if they are doing it?
But you also want them to be smart and not be careless with it, right? I think Blake needs to talk to Dutch and be like, you do know, like, even though you're using protection, you can still get a girl pregnant here. And then that sets the trajectory for the rest of your life at whatever age he is. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, we've had that conversation. I mean, he's using protection.
Yeah, it's not his fault.
You can't get mad. He's used more protection. Used 2 of them.
And it's not his fault. The dog is like finding things.
Right.
Either.
And I believe he threw it away, and the dog went in the trash. That's
probably
what I think. But I also think be double safe and throw it in the trash.
I'm mortified
for
you guys right now. I just can't even I can't.
I know. To see the way Blake's reaction was like to throw the condom at me.
What if it were like hit in the face? Like, that would have been terrible.
I know it would have been terrible. It was very close to my face, and it made a noise.
I'm so sorry for you.
Right?
I'm so sorry.
Hey, Kilani, good morning. You're on the air.
Hi, John Jay.
Hi.
So we have been listening to you all morning, and we listened to you the whole school year, and that's kind of why we called, because we heard Rich talking about the end of school. And so Keelani's just made a few observations about you and Kyle and Payton and Rich, mostly you, though, John Jay. And so I'm going to let her tell you what she's learned from you this past school year.
Okay.
I learned that Benson Boone is Benson Bone now.
That's it?
Eco is now Echo.
Oh, okay.
And documentary is now documentary.
Gonna do great on those final exams this week. Just keep that coming.
But you come to our show to learn, Kilani. Very good. Very good.
You changed my life and my vocabulary.
I like that kid. That kid's going to do well.
You're ready for the summer now.
The next step.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you for listening.
Thanks for letting me talk.
You got it. It's all water under the fridge now. Take that one. It's all water under the fridge.
Oh, my goodness. I have to explain everything after she's listened to you, so it's all good.
All right, good. Well, drive safe. Thank you for listening. Paul, good morning. Were you written up on the Nextdoor app or Facebook? Because that's what we're getting into right now, 877-937-1047. What happened to you, Paul?
What's up, John Jay? It's Paul. So I got a buddy of mine. So I make pizzas in my backyard. I have a pizza oven and all that good stuff, homemade pizza oven and all that. And so I make pizzas for all my neighbors and my friends and all that. And my one neighbor puts it all over Facebook, and then he calls and sets a whole company up, and I get from Google 5 times a day now trying to verify my business. And every single day they call and they go, okay, so Paul, we want to verify because there's people trying to find your neighborhood or your pizzeria, and they want to try your pizza. And every single day I get phone calls, and I can't stop it.
Boy, but it's delicious, though. If you're getting Google reviewed, you are cranking out a lot of dough.
No, this should be your business.
Yeah, so if you guys ever want to come out to Vistacia, please come out. We'll have some pizza.
So you just got is it a pizza oven, like a normal pizza oven you just get like at Target or something?
Yeah. No. So I have a buddy of mine made the pizza oven for me.
Oh, that's cool.
And so I cook pizzas and all that, and everybody comes over. We have pizza parties all the time. I'll make sometimes 20, 30 pizzas.
Whoa.
And all of a sudden, our phone starts ringing saying, hey, we want pizzas. Can you deliver to us? And then Google calls and wants to verify it every day.
That's nuts, Paul. Paul's Pizza.
Paul's Pizza.
Drop some off, son.
Paulie Walnut.
There's
Walnut's Pizzeria.
There's a business in there. You should think about that if they're that good.
Paulie Walnuts. All right, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys are more than welcome never to come by.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you.
See you, brother.
You got it, guys.
By the way, Any of you guys watching new shows that came out this weekend? There's a couple new shows.
I binged one. I finished a whole show in
What'd
a
you
day.
watch?
Which one?
I watched that show called Bet on Netflix. I think it's number 10, and it's based off of like an anime TV show, but they made it like actual real people, and it gives Gossip Girl mixed with Hunger Games, but like it's so good. I'm obsessed with it, and I'm like, now I know why people really like anime, because this is good.
Is it anime?
No, it's like real people, but it's based off of a show that's an anime show.
Oh, okay.
And it's so good. And basically, it's these super uber rich high schoolers, and they gamble and they bet. And so their parents send them to school to basically manifest their legacy and to learn how to be great. But there's murder, there's like drama. It's so good.
That sounds really good.
It's so good.
There's a show that came out. One episode came out so far. It's on Max or HBO Max. And I remember reading about this show a couple of years ago because they filmed it in Tucson. And J.J. Abrams, the guy who brought back Star Wars.
Gracie Abrams' dad.
Yes, Gracie Abrams' dad. He brought back Star Wars, and he also he did Lost. It's the guy that played Sawyer, Josh Holloway.
Yeah.
The show's called Duster. Anybody see it? Okay, so check this out. It's filmed in Tucson, and I didn't know what it was about when they were filming it in Tucson. So now I watched it, and it takes place in Phoenix in the 1970s. So they had to use Tucson because Tucson looks like Phoenix in the 1970s.
There's a lot more swamp coolers to choose from.
It's pretty funny though, because it's not a comedy. It's pretty action packed. It's really interesting how it's shot and what the storyline is. And he's like a runner for this mobster in Phoenix in the 70s. But he's also running organs. Like they did a heart transplant in this fancy neighborhood in Phoenix called Arcadia. And they did a heart transplant in somebody's house. I mean, it's wild. It's an hour long, so for only one episode. And I think it's got some potential to be really, really good because the way it's filmed. And Duster is the car he drives. It's like a 1970 Duster, and it's loud. And there's a woman who's an FBI agent. She's the first black FBI agent in Phoenix, and she's going after the criminal, and she tries to get him to be an informant. Like, it's pretty good. If you guys get a chance to see that,
I'll check that out.
Cool.
And then on Apple, they dropped that guy Skarsgård, dropped a show. It's like RoboCop. It's called Murderbot.
Oh, I saw the previews for that. Is that any good? There's
2 episodes came out, and they should have dropped 3 because I'm not all in yet.
Oh no!
I know, like that. He's. You know how Dexter always talks the voiceover of Dexter?
Yeah.
So it's like that. He's a security robot, like a RoboCop robot, but he broke free. But nobody knows he broke free, so he speaks freely. But he speaks freely in his mind, and us, the viewer, get to watch it. So he's pissed off at everybody. So you hear his funny sense of humor, but you don't see his funny sense of humor. But the guy Skarsgård is like really, really good looking. You know what I'm talking about? You've seen him?
Not the clown, but the brother.
That's the brother. Yeah,
no, the clown's creepy. The brother's handsome.
Yeah. And I'm halfway through Liver King documentary. If you guys get a chance to watch that,
I started it. I couldn't get into it. I just don't think that's like my kind of show.
It's not really well done. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not. It's. So,
I like the Untold
is it
like
Takedown?
documentary series. I mean, not really. I only got about 30 minutes into it. I think it's like an informational documentary. They're telling you about this Liver King.
30 minutes into it? Oh, you're further along than I am.
Oh, really?
It is a takedown.
I mean,
at some point they're getting to it because he says he's natural and doesn't take steroids.
Like we know that story though.
Well, that's why they're doing the documentary.
Yeah.
Because it's like the shooting guard story. We know that story, and they made a documentary about it. Like right now, the part I'm at, he's going around saying he doesn't take steroids. He doesn't take steroids, and you know that he got busted a couple of years ago buying steroids. So it's like that.
I started watching it's number 1 right now on Netflix. It's called American Manhunt, Osama bin Laden.
Yeah, I watched that.
And I'm like, we know the story of 9/11, but yet there's so many documentaries on it, and it's like the footage that they have, and they have like the guy that was the advisor to President Bush at the time of it happening. I'm only like 45 minutes into like whatever, episode 1 or 2. I don't know if I switched episodes yet, but I watched about 45 minutes, and it's fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I feel like I've seen all this before, but it's still fascinating to be shown it in this way.
And it's weird that they waited so long to make the move on him because they knew where he was, like every day, walking around, like pacing in the garden. I think a year and a half, something like that, right? Maybe even longer.
I was trying to remember if it was Bush or Obama that got Osama.
It was Bush.
I thought it was Obama.
I thought
it was Obama too.
Yeah.
But then it was also,
maybe.
what's interesting in that documentary is we all know Osama bin Laden's name, but in the beginning, how the reporter said his
That
name
is
wrong.
so funny because literally that was like one of the most interesting parts to me because they're like, Bin Laden.
They say his name wrong.
Osama bin Laden.
Nobody knows who he is just yet. And the news
Yeah.
reporter's like, apparently this guy, they're telling the story.
Jeez.
Yeah. And also the part about that too is when they show, they had like pages and pages of research that it was going to happen. And they didn't do it. They didn't know where or when.
Or how.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Because there was so many
I
threats.
have to watch that.
It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, so I'm like going around on TV trying to find something great to watch on TV my sister. Oh, I will tell you this though. My sister texted me and said she's like, I need a good show to watch, and I told her, I gave her a handful of shows that we've already talked about, but my favorite show right now, and it might be my favorite show in a long, long time, is Mobland. If you guys
Mobland. Oh yeah, I'm on the second episode, but
there's 8 episodes right now, and it is so good and compelling, and you're just at the edge of your seat the whole time. And Tom Hardy, every actor on that show is an award winner. And they're just fantastic.
yeah, all the performances are killer.
Oh, my God.
And then if you do what I do and you go back and forth between that and the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, then you get like a good drama, and then you get some like good French fries to eat for
I'll tell
TV.
you why. Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. The reason I think that is a good show or is compelling to people is that one girl. She's the one that's fun to watch. I don't know her name, but she's the one that got pregnant. And then
A lot of them are pregnant.
oh, they are
A lot.
I've watched her TikTok a lot. She's the brunette one.
Macy?
Well, they're
If you tell me their name,
Macy's blonde, and then Demi's got dark hair.
No, not her. The one with the mom.
They're all moms. I think they're all moms.
The one that's Mormon.
I think the one
that's
that
wife.
She's got a
I
secret
think
life.
I think was she the one that was a swinger and then got
Oh yeah,
pregnant.
her boyfriend Dakota. But why am I not?
That one with the boyfriend
Why
Dakota.
am I not remembering her name? Starts with a J.
That
Come on.
one. She's
Jesse? Is there a Jesse?
Yeah, Jesse.
I feel like
Yeah, there you
there's
go.
a Jesse.
No,
She-
Jesse's a hair designer. Jesse
the
does
one
hair.
with the boyfriend Dakota is the star of the show, in my opinion.
Yeah, she's
And
good.
she's the one that you follow on TikTok. She's the one that has all the drama. She's the one,
Well, they all got drama.
I've only watched, but she's the one I think that to me.
That's the breakaway
I care
star.
about her.
Yeah.
I don't care about the other ones. And then it's fun. I searched all over. The reason I know more about it than I should is because I was looking for Kyle.
Kyle, like she makes all of them look like they're spares when Kyle's on TV.
That is
Kyle's the
not
pretty
true.
one,
I saw the
and they all
episode.
look like they
I'm
just don't.
barely in it.
Kyle's in it for 3 seconds in
I know,
episode
she
6.
steals the show.
That's nice of you, Richard.
Steals
but that is
the
a
show.
flat out lie.
But it is worth watching because they admit they are so dirty, those moms. And then like next week they're having a bake off.
But the episode that I'm in, it's like sweet. They're like, it's just great to get out there and support each other, be there for each other. And I'm like, oh, good. I was part of a positive thing.
When you were there, because Kyle's on episode 6, you were hosting a pickleball tournament thing. Had you already watched the show? Were you familiar with them?
No.
Oh, you
not at
weren't,
all.
so you
I
didn't
mean, I
know.
was familiar with the show just because it made such a big deal. You know what I mean? Everyone was like blown away by the fact that they had these crazy sex lives, right? But so I didn't know like really their names. So I met them as like, oh, hello, nice to meet you. Oh, you're Macy, nice to meet you. And honestly, they were so nice. Like everyone was like, ooh, watch out. There's going to be drama. And they were all
Well, that's
so
the thing.
really nice.
It's a TV show, and it's edited a certain way, and they're told they got a storyline to follow. I mean, and I'm sure they're really nice people.
And there was a big fight right before the pickleball thing, like where I thought that they were going to roll in the pickleball with like daggers out, but they were nice there.
They were. They
But
had a lot of fun at the event. It
at
was
the
really
mansion,
cool.
it was all on. Like it was all they were going at it. There was table flipping.
Well, that show's on Hulu, Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. The Liver King show, the Osama bin Laden show, that's on Netflix. The show Duster, which was filmed in Tucson and takes place in Phoenix in the 70s, is on HBO Max.